In 1994, a 73-year-old man with failing eyesight and no driver's license embarked on an impossible journey, driving 240 miles on a lawnmower. Fueled by his love for his brother and steadfast determination, Alvin Straight redefined what it means to go the distance. This is the extraordinary true story of one man's slow and steady race that tested his spirit and resilience. In this episode of Celebrity Afterlife, we remember the life of Alvin Straight, the man who rode his lawnmower 240 miles to see his dying brother and help to keep his memory alive. Alvin Boone Straight was born on October 17, 1920, in Scobie, Montana, to parents Lewis and Cora. Times were tough, and young Alvin grew up in a time where you did what you had to do to live. His steadfast determination served him well. First upon his enlistment in the U.S. Army on July 28, 1942, where he served in F Company, 36th Armored Infantry Regiment Spearhead Doughboys, 3rd Armored Division in the European Theater. That's a lot of words to say that in short. Means Straight was a badass. After serving in World War II and the Korean War, Straight returned back home to Scobie and married the prettiest girl there, Frances Beek, on October 17, 1946. Straight went to work at a nearby factory and worked hard to support his growing family. The couple would have 5 sons and 2 daughters, moving to Lakeview in 1973. In his later years, Straight suffered from many health issues, including diabetes and emphysema, and had poor vision as a result. This left him unable to drive, and he was forced to let his driver's license expire. But a phone call in June of 1994 would leave Straight scrambling to find a way to Wisconsin, 240 miles from his home. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and Straight, having grown up during the lean years, was a resourceful man. So when he received a phone call that his brother Henry had suffered a stroke, he decided the only way to get there was by driving his 1966 John Deere riding lawnmower. In early July 1994, Straight set off on his journey, taking with him plenty of supplies that he would need. Towing a small trailer behind him, he packed food and clothes, along with gasoline and camping gear to get him by. Leaving his home in Lawrence, Iowa, he traveled mostly on the shoulder of highways, since he wasn't able to keep up speed with the other vehicles. Straight made it to West Bend, Iowa, roughly 23 miles when his lawnmower broke down, 4 days later. Luckily, he was able to purchase a condenser, plugs, and a new starter, costing him $250, and started out again. Straight drove on another 90 miles before running out of money in Charles City, Iowa. Left with no other option, he found a secluded place to camp until his Social Security check was deposited into his bank account in August. The locals, struck with Straight's determination to reach his brother, reached out to the town's newspaper in hopes they'd run a story on him. The newspaper editors loved the idea and sat down with Straight in an interview where he shared the reason for his trip, before he headed out once again. On August 14, 1994, just 2 miles from his brother Henry's house near Blue River, Straight broke down once more. A local farmer exiting his field came upon the distressed man on the mower and helped push the tired machine the rest of the way. Taking just shy of 4 weeks, Straight completed his journey, traveling at a top speed of just 5 miles per hour. Straight's nephew Dane Straight drove him back home to Lawrence, Iowa after his visit. Henry Straight, once recovered, moved back to Iowa to be closer to his brother Alvin and other family. The news of Straight's story reached the president of the Texas Equipment Company in Seminole, Texas, Paul Condit. Touched, he reached out to Straight, donating to him a brand new 17-horsepower John Deere replacement worth $5,000. In April of 1995, Straight set out on a trip with his new mower to Sun Valley, Idaho, but unfortunately had to abandon the idea due to inclement weather. On November 9, 1996, Straight passed away from a heart ailment at a local hospital in Pocahontas, Iowa. He was 76 years old. A lawnmower similar to the one he had used for his journey to Wisconsin accompanied his funeral procession. He was buried in Ida Grove Cemetery in Iowa. Director David Lynch adapted Straight's story into the film, The Straight Story, that starred veteran actor Richard Farnsworth, earning him an Oscar nomination. Before he passed away, Straight had signed a contract with the studio, ensuring he would be paid $10,000 and 10% of the total movie's profit. Production began in 1995, but sadly he passed away before the movie was completed. Straight's story was also adapted into a theatrical production by playwright and performer Dan Herlin and composer and set designer Dan Moses Schreier. The Shoulder premiered in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in October 1997, presented by Legion Arts. It was again performed at New York's Theatre Workshop and the Minneapolis Walker Art Center in December 1997. What do you think of Alvin Straight's story? Would you drive 240 miles on a lawnmower in the same circumstances? Thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch every episode where we dive into the Celebrity Afterlife.